God effing gamers, and welcome back to Video Game Therapy. So I discovered there's a Zen mode, which is exactly what you see here. So I don't have to stress about failure or anything. And as I ramp down my volume, today I wanted to talk about karma, which is a bit of a strange topic, I feel like. I was on a run earlier, and my mind was wandering to these fictional worlds. And I got to thinking that karma, as I've always known it at least, has always been a spiritual concept, right? And I'm not saying that it's not in this video, by the way. In terms of the Buddhist philosophy, karma is essentially, oversimplified, it's the good you put out into the world will come back to you. The bad you put into the world will also come back to you. You're driving to work in the morning and you let someone out on a turn or something. Later that day, someone might give you a compliment. I don't know. You give the finger to someone as you're driving to work or something. Later that day, someone's going to come up and punch you in the face, right? That's just, simplification. But and both of those examples might actually make this kind of clear. But I was thinking, there's so much pondering about the universe, right? And what the universe gives us, right? And I talked about this a lot in the last Video Game Therapy about manifestation. But what if karma's just a simple social construct? You do good thing for someone, they feel inclined to do a good thing for someone else, or for you. And I was watching a movie, and I kind of realized, there's this trope, dare I call it, of like, I don't know, at the beginning of the movie, some person says, I'm gonna make up an example because that's too specific. At the beginning of the movie, someone helps some kid get to school in the beginning of the movie, just beginning of some situation, whatever. Help some kid get to school, right? And then, Boyhood. That's a really good example. Boyhood is a fantastic movie. It came out a little bit ago at this point. And I won't go into the movie itself, but there's one moment where one of the construction guys working on this woman's house seemed really smart. I guess I don't remember too well. And she said, hey, you should start going to classes, go to school. You're really smart. Should be working in a family business or something like that. And 10 years later, based on how the movie worked, he was the manager of a restaurant, and he said he recognized her and essentially just said, this meal's on the house tonight, thank you so much. And he got all emotional. So every time I think, oh man, this is getting so rambly, but that's precisely what it's supposed to be. So it's a simple concept of karma. And, you do something good for someone and that person will do good for you. Now, there's a fine line here because you also don't want to treat it as a favor. Hey, man, I helped you carry your books to class the other day. The least you could do for me. You should never expect anything of someone, especially if you should just never expect anything from someone. I think that's just a general point. If you help someone out, you should never expect anything in return. But things might come in return. You might change someone's life. I don't know. So, very specific examples aside, if you say, oh, that's such good karma, it's just a result of social behavior. Now, what I didn't fully think through, is there more to say there? Because you do something nice for someone else, they might remember you, but that doesn't, quote unquote, explain why someone else might do something for you. But it's a little bit late, and it's been a long day. I don't know. I'm just gonna continue that thought. But karma itself, I don't know why the game's being so laggy. It's probably because I have Firefox open. In this case, it might just be a social construct. It's nothing spiritual. If you act good, you will receive good. And that's just from people, from basic human behavior, right? And I guess this kind of really ties into the last episode of Video Game Therapy. Probably won't put an end card or an info card up here, but you can check that out on the end card at the end of this video, or you can just click on the channel below after you hit the subscribe button, of course. And what was I saying? Totally forgot. Oh yeah. No, it's, karma is also just what we perceive it to be. So if you wake up one day and you're like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna give this karma thing a shot. Why are the waveforms so small? It's a little concerning because I'm right up to the microphone. Well, I apologize if the audio is ass for this video. If you wake up one day and you say, I'm gonna do a lot of good things for people today, just because I'm gonna hold the door open whenever I can. I'm gonna, oh, that's right into a glyph. I'm gonna help someone carry their bags today, whatever. Then, it's not great to have the expectation that someone will help you in return, of course, but you might just see that. You open the door for someone, and maybe later on they open the door for you on your way out because you took the initiative in this social interaction. But later on, someone might pick something up for you after you dropped it, and you might think, wow, I held the door open for someone. They really, the world, someone picked this thing up for me, and that was nice of them. Good came back to me. But that might just be because you're looking for it. Don't mind me being horrible at this game. I'm really not focusing on it. So, largely based on our perception, and that's a lot of what I was talking about in the manifestation video. But that's just, I don't know, it's a whole different thing. But yeah, karma, not as a spiritual construct, but a social one. Not as a spiritual concept, but a social concept. Yeah, this might be a really short video game therapy. I don't know, food for thought. If you have any kind of ideas on this, I would absolutely love to hear it. 100%, because this is something I have not given a lot of thought to. Usually I give things a lot of thought, but this is not one of them. As you can see, is from me working out the fault of social construct and being based off social interactions. But yeah, I don't know. Karma's kind of cool. It's a fun thing to, quote unquote believe in, because in a sense, it's like you want good things to happen to you. So go out and, search for good things, but be benevolent, right? In your purposes. Don't go out and do good things for the sake of getting something good in return. Go out and do good things. Do good things. Plus, saying, I guess that's more about saying yes, and I could talk about that for ages. Maybe I will talk about that a little bit. But doing good things tends to be associated with saying yes more. I think that's not a fact. I mean, it always depends on what you're saying yes to or what you're saying no to. But yes opens up more opportunities, assuming no questions are formed in the negative. Sorry, linguistic me coming out here. So perhaps saying yes to things, helping someone out, it might just, as a result, open up a positive opportunity for you. You help someone carry their books to class. A teacher sees that and gives you a good grade, right? It's not the act of being good in that, well, it is the act of being good in that case, but it's not directly from the act of being good. That person, in this case, the reactionary world response, so to call it, isn't the person helping you later on. It's someone who saw you doing something, and it opens up the opportunity for them to do this thing for you. Oh, that's an oof. I mean, then again, it's still a social construct, right? Because someone saw it. Damn, that's tough. There are a lot of exceptions to the rule, I guess, but I mean, I feel like there's nothing that can't just be broken down to what you open yourself up to perceive on the day-to-day. Like, if you really do believe in karma, and I don't know, you back into someone's car by accident or something, if you're stressing the entire day about, oh my God, like how could I have done this? I bumped into someone's car. This is so bad. They're gonna get so mad. You might walk into a negative situation, or you might perceive a situation as negative because of that situation. But that's, you know, that's psychology and the fickle nature of the human mind. Wow, and to think I wanted to make an actual commentary video on how karma could be a social construct, and I barely made it 10 minutes on a rant. Gotta love it. I mean, there's a lot more to Buddhism and the aspects that karma represents, like basic goodness, just various different things. So this is a very limited scope of what I am perceiving karma to be in this case. But yeah, karma as a social construct. Because I can't really think of anything, in a sense, you know, well, I guess good karma or bad karma, it's incited almost always. You are the one who starts the cycle. If you do something good will happen to you. If you do something bad will happen to you. And so it's your actions that kick off the cycle. You do something good, you interact in a positive manner for some type of thing, I don't know, then that's your action. That is you doing something to impact the world. That is in essence, a social action. It is one that has an impact outside of just you and your mind. So I guess the result is the only thing that really changes. And that's, you know, largely just dependent on if your perceptions are open to it. I feel like I'm being so redundant. I feel like I'm onto something here, you know? You ever get that feeling? You're onto something? Huh. I don't know. I'm thinking of really simple examples, like you hold the door open for someone. I don't know what you're gonna get accepted to your job later that day, but and the universe is gonna do that because you know, open the door for someone. That just doesn't seem legitimate, right? I guess even then the result is but it's not a direct, you can't tie those things directly through social action. I mean, it might reinforce you to hold the door open for people, but and I would encourage you to do so, although it's the pandemic, so maybe don't right now, unless the doors, you can somehow hold it open from 6 feet away with a mask on, of course. I can't think of any direct exception that breaks this rule. Well, this quote-unquote rule. But obviously it's not always going to be a social interaction, because your deeds, good or bad, may not always be reciprocated by the same person. I guess an exception is, you know, just opening the door and then you win the lottery. Like, you do something good and something good will happen to you. But I don't know, maybe it's the objective scientific murk being existing right now. But that just doesn't seem like in any way, you know, chance doesn't seem tied to your good or bad action. Butterfly effect, maybe. You know, that's a good way to think about it. Maybe the butterfly effect is the thing. If you didn't hold that door open for someone, maybe they bought a lottery ticket, maybe they would have bought the winning one instead of you. I don't know. Wait, no. Sorry, if you didn't hold the door open for someone, maybe they would have gotten the winning lottery ticket instead of you, or whatever. I hate the lottery. Don't buy lottery tickets, kids. It's just wow. If you do, start tracking how much you spend, and you will win your own lottery in 40 years if you were to invest that money instead. Anyway, I think that's going to be all for tonight, because I'm going to just start saying things more redundantly over and over again. But yeah, I am genuinely curious if anyone has any thoughts, because I haven't given this much thought before I start spewing fake facts about it. So we're gonna finish this run. I can't believe I've gone on this long, but I hope everyone's staying safe out there in the pandemic world. It's rough. I had my first classes today, and those were good, honestly. They mostly went well. But alas, thank you so much for watching and or listening. I do really, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe down below. Can we hit 300? I don't know. The current trajectory, it'll take about 5.5 years. Regardless, don't hesitate to check out the last video game therapy, where I talk a bit more about spiritual things like manifestation. And next episode, I don't know what I'll talk about. I truly don't. September's pretty much got all the videos uploaded. We're finishing up Chrono Trigger, Night in the Woods, and Plague Tale all in 1 month, which is so satisfying. And yeah, I'll let you go. Have a good one. Don't forget to stay awesome. Peace out.